mine out. Whoa. Oh, I'm stuck.
What's happening, Bandidos? Tux Live. It's Tuesday morning. We got a good show for you today. But before we get into the deets, let's make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. Somebody, or all of you, can give me a hashtag Tux Live if I'm coming in loud and clear. Let me know. I will turn down the music in a moment. But I want to get you guys in the zone. Because we got build talks. Build talks. That is the topic of the day. I'm going to be giving you guys some build ideas and recommended buy list. So it's going to be a hot or not list based off of today or this week's vendor reset. It's actually going to be a good one, a decent one. Thanks, Latina. Tux Live. All right. Sounds like I am coming in loud and clear. Appreciate you guys. So some of you probably just came over from the build video that just dropped. If you haven't seen that yet, then make sure you do after this live stream. Latina, if you could drop a link either in the comment section or in the feed or both of the last video that just premiered. It is a 511 build that basically makes you immortal. You have basically infinite life with it. It's pretty crazy. It was a classified build that I made for members 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we've been having a lot of fun with it. And so I just declassified this one for the public. So if you guys didn't know, classified builds are secret builds made just for Tux's Players Club, True, and Hardcore Bandido member levels. So if you want to tap into these, you can get access today just by making sure you're at least a True Bandido member level. You can click that join button, that little join button just below the video picture here. Anyway, so that's my spiel on that. So welcome everybody. So I want to say what's up to Ultra Mega Man. Thanks for making it. He's out of, I believe, Sydney. Couldn't get the city right, but definitely Australia. So appreciate you, man. Let's see, your Bandido icon is upgraded to black. Congrats to that. Q Mosley, welcome, brother. I think Q was on the premiere as well. So welcome to the live stream. Mobile Guy, new member, just joined. I believe that was yesterday. Welcome, Mobile Guy. Appreciate you, man. Steven Johnson, welcome to the live stream. Dubsta. Anyways, so let's get going. So this isn't going to be a super long video. We're just going to get down to the details, basically. So we're going to start with the White House and then work our way around the map. But what I want to do, besides just going through the list of what's here, is kind of give you guys some things to work on, and then I'll tell you what I recommend you buy or what to skip over. Let me just turn on the music a little bit more here. And then I'll be trying to answer you guys' questions along the way, so if you have any, be sure to drop them in the feed. It really helps too if you want to get noticed in the feed. If you have a question that you want me to answer, if you start off with writing question or capital Q, something like that, so that I can catch it, so my eye catches it if you guys got a question, because sometimes the feed does get quite busy in there and you guys start talking to each other sometimes too. So if you've got a question for me, try doing that. Anyways, so we are here at the White House vendor. We're gonna go through this quickly. Again, if it's junk, we're just gonna skip over it pretty quick, glaze over it pretty quickly, I should say. And then we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the ones that I think are good buys for you guys. So the first one's a Burnout. It's this has got perfectly on empty. You get reloading, or reloading from empty grants 40% weapon handling, and in my opinion, the FAMAS, which is this is based off of, actually needs that. Except this is a crappy version because you're gonna have to re-roll that attribute, and then you're gonna need to optimize the assault rifle damage. So I don't recommend this. The Police T821, which is actually pretty good, and it's actually pretty cool with Seek. I've been rolling it with Seek lately. This is a crappy version, so it costs you too many resources to get it triple god rolled, and you need that for your weapons. You need every ounce of damage that you can get. Gear isn't so important, but for weapons, it's super important that you have your weapons maxed all the way out. The AKM, actually a lot of people like this. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's pretty making its way around the dark zone right now. I think a lot of people are using it there. It'd be interesting for measured. I don't recommend you buy this though. The rolls are crappy. They got the correct rolls. You do want damage to targets that are covered. That is the best multiplicative roll to put on your assault rifle or any weapon that is. And measured would make it really interesting, but this would be too expensive to optimize. But if you have the money, if you're a rich bandito, and you just want to give it a try, yeah, buy it, give it a try, see how it feels with measured if you don't have one already, and then if you like how it feels, farm for a better version. Pistols, we just skip those. So this is a Badger Tough backpack. Interesting. It's got max hazard protection, weapon handling, and creeping death. This would actually make an interesting... we'll stick on this one for a second here. This is actually an interesting backpack. Where my mind goes is for the Scorpio. Because Scorpio applies a status effect and it's a shotgun, and creeping death is for status effects. So when you apply a status effect, it also applies to all enemies within 8 meters. So if you want to disable a mob that's running at you, well, let's just say you're battling a what do you call those? An elite resource convoy, right? Where they all come out of the manholes or jump out of a truck, which is funny, by the way. You know, if you want to quickly disable them, you can get one guy on status effect. Let's say you shock him, and then the whole crowd would be shocked because of creeping death. That's how that works. And then if you wanted to make it a hybrid skill build, or you wanted to roll more weapon damage, this kind of sets you up for that, because that core attribute's really low. So you could re-roll that into a yellow tier if you're making a hybrid status effect build. Like you can right foam them, for example, first, and then hit them with your shotgun, and then creeping death would only kick in with the riot foam and only kick in once in that scenario, and then you have to wait for that 15-second cooldown. But you know, the other attributes aren't that great. The hazard protection and weapon handling for that build, because I believe you would probably want every attribute you could possibly take to go towards status effects. So but that might just give you a good build idea though. So if you ever do come across a Badger Tough with creeping death on it, look for one that has status effects and skill haste on it. That way you can build yourself a little makeshift status effect build and use your Scorpio shotgun to also apply a status effect. And what's so good about those status effects, they don't have a cooldown, right? The shotgun doesn't have a cooldown in its status effects, which makes it pretty good for status effect builds if you wanted to just rely on the shotgun. And if you're going to do that, you're still going to want status effects on all your pieces, because you want to draw out the status effects that you apply. So I would, if you were going to rely just on your shotgun, which is actually a really interesting build, now that I think about it, I would go Vile Mask, Scorpio shotgun, maybe a Badger backpack, doesn't have to be the backpack, but with creeping death, status effects, and then I'd roll everything else to crit damage or crit chance, and make that shotgun hit really hard. So actually make it kind of a run and gun shotgun build. And when you apply status effects, creeping death, it bleeds over to everybody. Everybody starts taking damage, and then you're mowing them down from there. It turns it into a multiplicative damage type build, because you got layers of damage happening on top of each other. The Rolly chest piece was spotter and status effects. I mean, spotter and status effects do go with each other. This isn't a good setup though. I haven't been a big fan of status effect sniper builds. I have tried, and this other stuff is crap, unless you're brand new in the game and you need a crit damage mod. So okay, so that's it for the main vendor. So I would say there's no recommended buys there. I wouldn't even get that backpack, even though it starts a good conversation for build. So again, the objective is to give you the recommended hot list for today, but also to give you guys some build ideas. That's the takeaway for today's video. So we are gonna have some good ones here. So the designated hitter, I don't think this is that good of a dealio, because you know, even if you're running a healer build, you know, you got to hit them in the head to get that extra repair, which is fine, but to do it with the sniper rifle, the time it takes to acquire your target and to lay out shots, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't make that very good. So skip that. True Patriot, and meh, it's a crappy one. Future Initiative, actually this is a good one. I recommend you buy this Future Initiative skill damage mask, okay, especially if you're in the Tux's Players Club. So if you're in the Tux's Players Club, this is going to be on your buy list and your shopping list, for an upcoming build. Of course, it's going to be a hybrid build, but so this is guys giving you a little glimpse into the future here. But future initiative, when you're running 3 pieces, gives you skill haste and skill duration. That's really cool for your turret and your drones, right? But that's 30% duration. That's more than Murakami. Murakami only gives you 20%. But when you're running 4 pieces, you're going to have that ground control, which gives you and your allies an additional 15% total weapon and skill damage, which is like Overwatch. Overwatch? That's right, right? Where you're when you're in cover, you give your allies that same thing. So it's pretty cool because it's added to damage, so it's not amplified or multiplicative, you know. So it's not like Obliterate or Glass Cannon, but it's all good, right? There's no downside to it. Anyways, and then you get everything else on top of that, the skill haste and skill duration. So I'm messing with this build right now. I actually already have this build, so this is on the buy list. It's not going to cost you very much, so especially for you Players Club members, buy this feature list. And so you guys know, we are at the clan vendor, by the way. I didn't say that. We are at the clan vendor at the White House. Okay, Striker's backpack. Also interesting, actually. So if you are running the build called the Perfect Blend, which is a hybrid skill build that relies on 4 pieces of Striker, this might be one that you're interested in. So, it really makes the capacitor rip, so you know. And right now we're running it with the Memento, but if you want to switch to using, what is it called? The Waveform holster, which is a really good second option, which I would say if you're more of an in-cover player, if you play from cover a lot, that's not a bad way to go, right? Because you're not running around picking up your trophies. You might want to try the Striker's backpack, give it a run if you didn't get one during your farming sessions. But anyways, it's going to increases your total weapon damage gain per stack from 0.5% to 0.65%. So it's another 15th. So or is that, we would say 1/8, right? Is that what that is? 1/8. So anyways, that's a lot more damage stacking. And so, like, if I had to choose between the Striker's backpack and the Striker's chest piece, I would choose the backpack because you get more damage out of the backpack. The chest piece gives you, like, it counters the loss on misses or something like that, right? So, the Sash 12, which I actually really like, it's actually a really good shotgun. It has in sync, which is actually a really good setup, but it's not that good of a version. M1A2QB, not that good. This Golden Gear one isn't bad, actually. I'm gonna recommend you buy this because Golden Gear is actually not that easy to farm. I don't know if you guys have spent any time farming for Golden Gear in the open world, but you don't get good drops. You have very difficult. It's difficult to get good drops, but I don't know if you guys saw those. The live stream I did, maybe 3 weeks ago. It was called. They were called unique items, hard to find but worth the grind. The all gold Golem was one of those items, and you can make that here. So it's going to cost you some resources on that secondary attribute. But what I would do is take that core attribute, roll it into a skill tier, and then optimize that status effect attribute all the way up. So that's why I call it an all gold Golem. So golden. Anyways, you're gonna need at least one golden Golem for your build. So if you don't already have that, then I recommend you buy these Golden Gears. That's actually interesting. So you're gonna have max for most status effect builds where you're relying on skills. All those skills usually are consumable skills, like your Riot Foam, your Blinder Firefly, the exploding secret that applies bleed, or the burster secret that applies fire. Anyways, all of those things, they're all consumables, right? Which means they have usually a long cooldown. So you always want that max status effect and skill haste, so you can bring the status effect and skill haste as close together as possible. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we call a no cooldown build. So when your status effect last as long as your cooldown, we call those no cooldown builds. Obviously, there's actually a cooldown, but when it comes to, you know, in practice of how it works, we call those no cooldown builds, even though there really is a cooldown. It's a net zero cooldown is what we call it. Does that make sense? So let's say you got a 10-second cooldown just on your blind or firefly, just for simplicity's sake. And so you throw it on a Chunga, he's blind for 10 seconds. For his status effect is 10 seconds, and your cooldown is 10 seconds. That is a no cooldown status effect build, is what we call that. Anyways, that's what you can do with this Golden Gear piece. You would run it with a Hannah U, 2 pieces of Wyvern, the Vile Mask. You could do one of the only times you can use the backpack, the exotic backpack. What's it called? Gosh, I don't use it enough to remember the name. Anyways, the one that nobody uses. It allows you to. It comes with status effects and skill damage on that backpack, and when you throw a grenade, it gives you overcharge as well. And so, in order to get that overcharge, you need 6 skill tiers, and that's a case where you would want your Golem not to have armor, and you would want the Acosta go back. The Acosta's go back. Yeah. You would want your Golem not to have armor, so you can be at that 6 skill tier and take advantage of that overcharge. Or you could run, you know, Creeping Death or something else like that. Anyways, I recommend you guys buy this if you don't already have an all golden Golem. That's a good one. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate you, Thomas. Tomas, welcome, brother, to the stream. Let's see what else we got. Vaughn Jacobs, what's up, brother? And he lets us know the AKM has good damage. Yeah, I saw that. It was like 100k base damage, and that one wasn't even max rolled. Alex Volkov, welcome back. Welcome back. Vendors should sell max out mods. I agree with that. It's always shit at the end of the list, right? I don't even know why I look. Inquisitor says, yeah, caught alive. How you doing? What's up, Inquisitor? Welcome, brother. So what is the blueprint for hybrids? Is it changing attributes or more to it? I don't know. That's a big question, buddy. What is the blueprint for hybrids? Is it changing attributes or there's more to it? I mean, you got a couple of things going, right? I think when it comes to hybrids, they're I mentioned this in the last I think live stream, or video. Hybrids, okay, when you're min-maxing a build, we're gonna go to a quick tangent, guys. So when you min-max a build, right, when you make your all godly mighty DPS build, right, you min-max it, and that's really easy to do, right? You go out there and you look for your basically just god roll, you know, Providence and Cheska and Grupo, whatever, right? And make sure it's got crit chance and crit damage and max weapon damage. That's not hard. And then from there, you're just looking, it's basically preference. Are you going to run Vigilance or something different on your backpack? But Vigilance would be the strongest. Are you going to run Glass Cannon or are you going to go Obliterate? You know, those are preferences. But otherwise, that's a really easy build to make. You're just minimizing some attributes and maximizing other attributes. So, but for hybrid builds, it's a whole nother build frame of mind, I would say. And so I wouldn't say there's a blueprint for it because hybrids is actually a pretty general term. You could be technically a tank hybrid DPS build. So you could be like part tank, part DPS, right? That's considered a hybrid, right? But when we generally talk about hybrids, we usually mean there's a balance. You could have a 2-way or a 3-way hybrid, right? Something that balances DPS and skill damage, right? Or something that balances DPS, skill damage, and survivability, like armor on kill, armor regen. So that's a 3-way hybrid. And then, of course, you have your other variations, like DPS and status effects, and DPS and healing. And if you saw the 511 build that I just created, that I just premiered, again, if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. That video is a hybrid skill damage, skill repair build. So it takes advantage of the fact that we're running 6 skill tiers, but splits that up instead of applying it all to your attack turrets and drones. It splits it up for a heal skill and an attack turret, so skill damage. So, anyways, so it's much more challenging because I guess to get to the point is that there isn't a blueprint because when we create these hybrids, we have so many variations. So first we got to decide which variation that we want, and then from there, the challenge is always balancing between the two elements that you're trying to hybridize. So if you're going skill damage and DPS, the challenge is going to be getting your primary weapon to feel just as powerful as your skills. Getting your skills to feel powerful is really, really easy. I mean, most hybrid builds are actually just as strong as pure skill damage builds. The only difference is usually skill haste. There's usually more skill haste on pure skill damage builds, where we're taking those attributes and we're rolling them to something else, like weapon damage or crit chance or crit damage. But so that's always the challenge. So that's why there's not really a blueprint. You sort of have to take it one build at a time. But yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. Anyways, sorry, and thanks for the tangent. Good question. Really good question. Really good question. Death Destroyer Words finally got a 13% protection from elites mid yesterday. Whoop, whoop. Wow, brother. Congrats. We should really be handing out plaques for that, by the way. Anybody else got 13% protection from elites mods in this stream? I got 3 of them. I'm actually looking for 4. And I think I determined that to fully optimize it, I think you only really need 4. Because I think from there, I would probably roll Survivalist and then free up that slot of my build for more crit damage or something like that. But anyways, at least 4 make me happy, and I've been at 3 forever. But where'd you find it? Let us know where you found it too. So here's a tip for anybody looking for those. I have found for my squad that we have all received our first drop, natural drop of that 13% protection from elites mod from Roosevelt Island on Legendary. So we've definitely got them elsewhere, but our first drop came from Legendary. Anyways, this negative, it's kind of crappy. Skip that. So these knee pads, you have to buy these knee pads if you don't already have ones that came with crit damage and crit chance on them. So let me tell you what you're gonna do with these, okay? So I'm sure you already have Bellstone with max armor, max crit damage, and crit chance. I'm sure you already have that. But what you're gonna do with these ones are you're gonna re-roll that core attribute, okay? You're gonna turn it, and it'll be flexible for many, many builds. I have one of these for every gear piece. So I hope you're paying attention. If you are, you need to buy this piece. We're at the clan vendor, okay? And so you're gonna re-roll that core attribute to weapon damage, all right? And that's gonna be really, really, really good for your DPS builds. Basically any build that you're running the Memento with, because it gives you that armor core, and you don't wanna run more than, well, most people like that sweet spot of 1.1 million armor, which means if you're gonna run 2 pieces of Bellstone, you need one of those to have a weapon damage core, and the other one can have the armor core. So that way, you maintain your armor no more than 1.1 million. That seems to be the sweet spot between survivability and damage output, so if you're wondering. So you need this, but it's also gonna work for skill builds. So if you want a skill build, a hybrid skill build, right? And you're gonna max out your crits and then roll like 6 skill tiers and then max out your crits and then run the capacitor, right? And that's a really good build. And then let's say you're gonna run like One Piece Wyvern, you're gonna run your Memento backpack, right? And then you wanna run 2-piece Bellstone so that you can have now 4% armor regen, because the backpack gives you 3, Bellstone's gonna give you another 1% armor regen, right? And then your second piece of Bellstone is gonna give you 10% armor on kill on top of that. But you don't want to run too much armor on a skill build, because then you'll be taken away from your skill damage. In that case, you would take the same exact piece and re-roll that core attribute into a skill tier. Right, so this piece is going to set you up for many, many different builds. So what I would do is buy this, re-roll that core attribute right away to a weapon damage core, so you know you have that, make sure you favorite it, and then probably optimize the critical hit damage or critical hit chance. Just so you guys know, like, to get a Bellstone with max crit damage and max crit chance doesn't happen that often. We all have them, but probably took forever to get it. And I farm Bellstone all day long. So you know. Anyways, this is a hot item to buy. I already have them, otherwise I would buy them. So, but I'm recommending you guys do. Let's check out the comments. So, looks like Destroyer Words. He got the protection from elites. Ultra Mega Man's got 4 protection from elites. Look at you. Look at you. What's your SHD level? You must be a farming fool. So he got his on the summit on a heroic with 5 directives. That was your first one, I'm guessing? Congrats. Yeah, I got my second one in the summit on heroic with 4 directives, and I was farming for it. And I actually got it in 10 floors, so it's pretty amazing. So, but that's RNG. That's just lucky. I'm sure if I went there today, I would be very unlucky. So, let's see here. Going down the list. Ultra Mega Man says my PFE build is technically at 84% now. Oh wow, congrats. Yeah, and I know why you're at 84%. Cool. Dubsta75 says got 5 crit damage mods, 12% mods, 6 crit chance mods. Yeah, that's good. And aim for 6, Dubsta. Aim for 6 of each. That's what I do. That's an insider tip. Aim for 6. So if you want to make a max crit damage build, for example, you can use. What I would do is put Grupo on my mask, for example, and then just as this is just an example build, but Grupo on my mask. Then I'd run a Sokol over my chest, Sokol over my backpack, and then 3 improvised gear pieces on the gloves, the knee pads, and the holster, all with crit damage on them. And then I'd roll a crit damage mod. So each one of those would be imitating a Grupo. And that's how you get max crit damage on your build. And then of course crit damage mods on your SMG. And you want it to be an SMG because most SMGs come with all the crit chance you need. But you can also pull that off with the Chameleon. And if you go that route, you're probably not going to run the 2 pieces of Sokolov, but you could if you wanted to. Yeah, good job. You're on your way there. But yeah, I definitely recommend 6. So I pretty much do that in case I want to maximize my build for something. So I have 6 incoming repair mods. I have 6 repair skill mods. So 6 of everything basically, except for those random ones like shock resistance. I don't have 6 of those. But yeah, Corona, if I'm saying that right, can't get Dark Winter from the summit. You cannot. You can only get those from named item caches or the Dark Zone. But they actually drop really frequently, so just farm named item caches. When we have those global events, not this week, but there's, I think next week will be one. And that will be, I believe, the reanimated event. And so, which is actually a really fun one. So I'm going to be farming the hell out of that one because it's fun. Unlike Hollywood, which was not fun. And so what I do, my strategy is I farm and then I get enough red stars, is what you earn, and I get enough to buy at least 20 named item caches, and then I open them all at once. And I almost guarantee to get a Dark Winter in that. I get the Holoman mask a lot too, and the Murakami Empress Guard knee pads. I get those a lot. So, Steven Johnson, 675 SHD. Oh yeah, you're not that high. Wow, you've been doing really good. Oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking of somebody else. Ultra Mega Man. Question: have you considered weapon build with 100% accuracy? Would you ever miss a shot? Yeah, we did. I did put out a video on this actually. It's called "You're Wearing" or "You Have Too Much Weapon Damage," and that talks about some builds that are overpowered and that you can really start building in survivability, like sniper builds, for example. My Mantis build is overpowered. I can hit 25, 29 million with it, whatever. And there's just so few enemies that you come across where you need that kind of damage. It's sort of pointless. So, I mean, if you have to kill a name boss with 2 bullets, which you only encounter once every now and again, who cares, right? But you can kill name bosses with 1 bullet with that build. So anyways, my point is, with those builds, we start talking about, you can go into weapon handling. What if you just landed more of your shots, right? You could kill more faster and whatnot. So yeah, it's called "You're Wearing Too Much," or "You Have Too Much Weapon Damage," or something like that. It's and I show a build that uses the rail splitter on top of all this weapon handling on the build. And I guess to the conclusion was there's a point of diminishing returns. And for me, that point is around between like 45 and 60%, somewhere in that range. And so if you go over that, I mean, your eye-hand coordination just can't really tell the difference. It's all about the same. Okay, these Murakami knee pads are actually kind of interesting. They got crit chance and crit damage. I'm not going to put them on the list because the only Murakami knee pads I wear end up being the Empress Guards knee pads, because they give you that 1% armor regen, which makes them pretty good for skill builds that don't have any sort of survivability. But this is an interesting one, because if you're looking to do one of those max crit damage builds, you know, you like we mentioned earlier, where you could run like 3 pieces of Empress, 1 piece of Wyvern, you could make that other piece these Murakami knee pads and max out your crit chance and crit damage and get some duration out of your build. You probably have a lot of duration because 3 pieces of Empress is going to give you all of that skill efficiency, right? Anyways, the rest of these mods are crap. So anyway, so you got your items there to buy. The Murakami piece is sort of an elective. So let's head over to the theater and see what we got in store over there. And while I'm fast traveling, I'll take a look at your questions. Let's see, scrolling up here. Dubster said, yep, took me forever to get a God Rolled crit chance Bellstone with Adrenaline Rush on it. Yeah. You know, I want one that's got God Rolled crit chance, crit damage on it, on my backpack and chest, so that I need more of those with like Glass Cannon or Vigilance or something like that, Obliterate or whatever, so I can roll the main core to weapon damage. You know, I want those versions all the way around. The chest pieces seem to be harder to get, whereas the other pieces seem to be easier to drop. Holes Deja. I really be looking mad clueless at these build videos. Hopefully I get some knowledge today, because I just putting random stuff at this point. You know, I think we've all been there, man. We've all been there. We started there. I remember I don't remember my first builds at all, but I remember I was just kind of going with it. Oh, that seems like it would make sense. It seems like that would make sense, you know. But you know, that's why I think the high crit damage builds, you know, just the all red build is a really good place to start to do all the min-max versions. So do like the all crit damage, all red build, and then do the all tank build, and then do the healer build. You need to know what your maxes feel like, so that way when you start exploring builds outside of that, then you know, you can kind of feel where your power is on the range, on the scale of 0 to 100. And so that's why it's a good place to start. You know, I think most people recommend that you start with that min-max DPS build. You know, get a nice assault rifle or the M1A, and then, you know, get all your Providence and your Grupo and your Cheska pieces, and then, you know, min-max all your crit chance and crit damage. But you're not gonna, I mean, if your watch is low, just realize you're not gonna be at where you see it in the videos that you're watching, because we have watches that are over 1,000. So we're able to pull out of cover a little bit more than you will, probably, because we have faster times to kill. We have more armor, more weapon damage, more crits, and all that stuff. So it'll come to you, man. Well, but you know, you're always welcome to join my Discord as well. Latina should be dropping links in the feed, but we have good build discussions going on, and all levels are welcome. All types of questions. There's no bad questions. So you're welcome to join the Discord. There's no cost to it or anything like that. And that's what we do over there. Of course, we do group ups, and we got TUX clans. So if you're looking to join any clans, the TUX clans are popping. And thanks to some great leaders and banditos. And the Discord is the best place to hook up with those guys. So invite you to do that as well. Okay, so taking a look here, the Sokolov. First off, we have these firm handshakes, which I've never really liked. They've never really made sense for me. They're always trying to get our SMG builds to take status effects, and I don't like it. I don't even like it with the Ridgeway's Pride. It just doesn't work for me. The reason why is because enemies pull in and out of range. Like if you're, especially when you're playing Legendary, if you're using an SMG and Ridgeway's Pride, enemies pull in and out of that 15 meters where the bleed is helping you with your regen. And so rolling all the status effects doesn't, to make that bleed last longer, doesn't really make that much sense because the enemy is not always in range and you can't always go running around chasing them, especially in Legendary. The M870 Express is a beautiful shotgun, probably my favorite shotgun in the game, which might surprise you because it's got a horrendous reload, but when you pair it up with the talent Pummel, it becomes an amazing beast. And we just did a live stream on Sunday, or the week before actually, I think it was last Saturday. It was called What Is Good. If you haven't seen that, go to my channel and look at the playlist called Live Streams, and you want to watch the one called What Is Good. Basically, the concept is if the gun is made out of wood, there's a good chance that it's really good, like this M870 Express. And most of the guns that are made out of wood are best in their class. So they tend to be that way. Anyways, this is a shitty one, so don't buy it. The Resolute MK47 with InSync. Nope, because there's a perfect version of this. You would want that one, so skip over that. A bad Cheska. Another Murakami knee pads that look sort of similar to what we saw over there at the clan vendor, but yeah, these ones got headshot damage, and I think for our skill builds, we're better off rolling that crit damage, so I'd probably pass on that. Shock, Skill Haze, 4% damage bonus per enemy. It's all crap. Okay, so that's the theater. So we got nothing for the theater. So let's move on to the campus. And I'll take a look at your questions while I'm traveling. So you guys talking to each other would make sense, and I'm definitely doing this good. Oh, cool, man. I hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. Holes Deja. Deja. Am I saying that right, Deja? I try to get people's names right, because I know I'm going to see you again. So, like I see Steven. So, Eclipse 187, welcome, brother. Did you just show up? Did you just arrive? Better late than never. Or have you been here the whole time and you're just speaking up? Vendors are crap this week again, but we are used to it by now. Laugh aloud. No, there's a couple of good buys, a couple of good recommendations. I mean, overall, they're always crap, but I got a couple of good recommendations from you. But sometimes the things that I recommend for you might not be that obvious, Eclipse. But definitely the one of them, and you might already have these, so you might not buy it anyways. But the clan vendors got some knee pads. I think they were knee pads that are Bellstone that have crit chance and crit damage already on them, so that you can roll those into like a skill tier or weapon damage core. But yeah, that's definitely made the list. So okay, so we got the White Death marksman rifle, which is actually a really good marksman rifle. If you haven't seen my decapitator build, you need to see that one, or the sucker punch. Basically, it's point blank sniping. So I'm a run and gun player. I love running and gunning. And I'm also a sniper player. I love Overwatch builds, especially in other games like Battlefield and whatnot. But even this game, I love my Mantis build. I just don't get to use it very much. But so I came up with this build called Decapitator or Sucker Punch, which is technically a second version of Decapitator. And the idea was to blend the two together. How do I get a run and gun sniper build? And I figured it out. And it uses the White Death. And what's special about it is it comes with 137% headshot damage. But this one sucks. It comes with Eyeless. Health damage isn't the worst because actually it's not that bad to use health damage because you are shooting people in the face. But I would prefer damage to targets out of cover. This is going to take resources to max out the rifle damage there. And then Eyeless isn't that useful, actually. I want the talent to be free so I could change out the talent. But the SR1, crap. Black Market, M60, that's crap. Walker and Harris, it's not a very good one. Murakami Industries, another Murakami holster. We get a lot of Murakami today. That one's not very good. The rest of the stuff is crap. Okay, let's head over to DZ West. I think we have something over there. If I remember right. Yeah, every time they have the White Death, it sucks. Yeah, I get a lot of... You bring up a good point, Eclipse. I get a lot of White Death drops. Like usually when I fight rogues too, they're always dropping White Deaths. And they always seem to be crappy versions. It's like, why can't you give me a really good version? One with like damage to targets of the cover already on it. And then good attributes so that I can just swap the talent out as I please. What talent would you run on your White Death? Would you go Ranger? What would you do? You know what I like on the White Death is the Preservation. You get 20% armor on kill when you get a headshot. So, And then you can don't need to put any survivability on your build because you got it all in your marksman rifle. Okay, so we're in DZ West, and the first off is the Harmony, which has perfect in sync. This isn't a very good one. I wouldn't buy it, especially since we have the test subject, which actually drops pretty often. In the wait, is test subject DZ only? Am I only getting that in named item caches? Am I getting that in the open world too? I can't remember now. Somebody let me confirm whether that's the test subject is open world or if it's DZ only. I can't remember how it's dropped it. Anyways, so next is an M870 Express. Guys, we're getting a lot of repeat stuff, right? Look, here's some Murakamis down here again. I mean, how many Murakamis? We've seen Murakamis in every vendor so far, right? Every single vendor. And then another M870. Wow. We're really trying to force our hand here. 1886, shitty. Feature Initiative, shitty. Aces and eights, no bueno. Murakami, no bueno. D&H, no bueno. Hey, so here's the thing. Besides the Dark Zone exclusive item at the DZ vendors, I would suggest you skip over everything else. I mean, might as well not, unless the item is so unique. Like in case these like Murakami pieces are so unique, you have to buy it. You don't want to buy anything from the DZ vendors unless it's a Dark Zone exclusive item. And that's because you're using DZ resources. Now, if you're a Dark Zone player and you have more DZ resources than you can use and you're full, then you need to actually spend some of those, so you might as well. Another tip is when you see Y'all, Y'all Gear is the brand set that is Dark Zone exclusive. Whenever you see Y'all for sale, buy it. And if you have more resources than you know what to do with, buy a ton of them and then deconstruct them for the components. That way, when you need to craft Y'all, you have the resources to do that. So even if it's a crappy Y'all, buy it. That's what I say. That way you have the resources. So when I'm in the DZ and I get Y'all, I end up exporting it so I can crush it in the open world and get the resources. Same with system corruption, you need those resources too. Okay, here we are, DZ South. So this Walker and Harris backpack, I'm gonna put on the hot list. I definitely recommend you buy this. This is a Dark Zone exclusive item, and I'm actually gonna buy this. Oh, I don't have enough space in my backpack. Do I have anything to delete? I'll delete this M1A CQB because I'm probably never gonna use it. So I'm actually gonna buy this item here. Buy it. So just to show you what so this is why this one's attractive. So Adrenaline Rush gives you all that bonus armor when there's enemies in range, right? And the perfect version, I believe, gives you an extra, 3%, right? Per enemy. Where I think if the non-perfect is 20%. So that's really cool, right? But the thing is that Walker and Harris usually does come with a weapon damage core. But when you're running Adrenaline Rush, you want armor, right? You need some armor, a good million armor, 1.1 million armor, so that bonus armor is worth a damn. Because without armor, it's not. I mean, one bullet takes it away, and what good is it? And if you're gonna run Intimidate with this, which you are, usually, but I do have builds where I run Adrenaline Rush with no Intimidate. If you've seen my builds that I call Invisishield. Invisishield uses Adrenaline Rush sometimes. And you might run Kinetic Momentum on your chest piece, where the bonus armor gives you time for your heals to heal you up. So anyways, with that said, you could roll armor here, and then you got almost max crit damage and armor regen on top of that, which is also pretty handy. So what I would do is just that. I'm going to roll armor on this, and then I'm gonna max out that crit damage. I'm probably gonna optimize it because I like to have my crits maxed out everywhere I go. I'm sure you do too. Anyways, I'm excited about this piece actually. Really excited. I'm probably gonna create a build for you guys with it, so you know. MPN, crap. In case I'm doing crap, tactical crap, ongoing directive crap, true patriot, probably crap. Yep, crap. Badger Tough backpack. It's actually kind of looks interesting, but it's crap because you don't want to buy this from DZ vendor. 511 gear. This one is crap. Most 511 is crap. Okay, let's head over to the other dark zone. Moving along. We're almost there, guys. Almost all the way through. After this vendor, we just got the New York vendor to check out. So, let's see what you guys got to say. Test subject open world, I believe. Inquisitor says test subject isn't named caches. Okay. Ultra Mega Man says I've only got test subject from Dark Zone. Okay, so I think it's going to be a DZ exclusive. Yeah. If you did get the test subject in the open world, Inquisitor, it's probably because of an event. Like we're running the events, they have their own little mini rewards tracks, and in those reward tracks you're getting things like named item caches, and then you probably open that cache. That's probably how you got it that way, and that's why it confuses me too, because I can recall opening it or getting it in the open world, and that's probably how I got it, which is why I get so many of them. I get a lot of test subjects. I don't know about you guys, and I always get really good ones. God, but it makes me think. I swear I've gotten one from like a rogue agent, but okay. So we got the pinprick, which has perfect first blood. I used to love first blood when I started my sniper builds. Now I don't like it so much, but I'm not sure. I know this was buggy. I know this had a bug with it where it wasn't working. But anyways, I have one. It sort of collects dust because there's just better sniper rifles. Like the Mantis, the Nemesis, and the White Death. So I wouldn't buy this. I don't recommend it. Crappy M700, military M60 again, right? So this again, we're getting repeats. Foundry, crap. Negotiator's Dilemma with status effects, crap. Walker Harris, crap. Overlord, crap. Okay, so nothing there. So far, I think from the DZ vendors, it's that DZ South, which is always the DZ South, right? Is it always DZ South that has what we're looking for? So. Okay, so we're gonna head over to New York, which, shit, I haven't been to New York in months. I don't know, can't even remember last time I was in New York. I don't go to New York. It's not because of the airfare. I find like when there's glitches, they tend to be happening in New York. Like when things aren't working correctly, it's for some reason it happens in New York. But I just don't like the map either. I just don't like how the map feels. A little more dark and gloomy, and where DC is, got a really nice atmosphere when you're running down the streets. It's not as crowded. I guess that's why. I don't know. What do you guys think? Also, it's just things are a little more accessible, like the East Mall, for example, or the Southwest, where you have these control points that are just lined up for you, easy to fast travel from one to the next. Vaughn Jacob said, what is the best way to get DZ credits without getting rogue agents hunted? Yeah, well, the truth is that most people, you can find DZ credits all over the DZ from fights. Most people just kind of leave them, because those guys that go rogue and kill you, they're in the DZ a lot. And so they usually don't need the credits, and they skip over them, so for the most part, you're probably pretty safe going in there. But there's also those little DZ credit boxes, the little loot boxes, the little cash boxes. They're tiny, all around. I mean, that's a slow way because you only get one at a time, but you can also do that. But sometimes the servers are dead. That's the best time when the servers are dead. Just go in there and farm the hell out of it, crush everything. But yeah, the test subject is perfect in sync. Yeah, it's got perfect in sync, just like the rifle. Yeah, going with the team is also better. Agree with that. Okay, the MPN crappy version, classic RPK, crappy version KSG shotgun, which is actually a really good shotgun if you didn't know. Most people try it and hate it, but it's actually really good. Arguably, it's better than the M870. I just like the way the M870 handled a little bit better, but when you put on pummel, when this thing's god rolled, right, and you put on pummel, it's got 12 in the mag, and so the thing about pummel is if you miss a shot, then you end up getting caught in a reload and can't activate pummel. The KSG, although the damage just is a little bit lower, I think maxed out, this is at like 1.4 million, and the M870 is at 1.6 million maxed out. And so it's a little bit lower, but you have more rounds in the mag, so you have the ability to miss a few shots without, missing out on your pummel automatic reload. Anyways, so the KSU shotgun is actually a really good shotgun. I did create a build for it. I think I called it the fun gun or something like that, but give that one a try. Police 686 Magnum. If you don't have NSYNC on your pistols yet, you should buy this. And oops, I lost my batteries. Give me a second, guys. Let me change my batteries on my thing real quick. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Appreciate you hanging in there. So let's see. We did the police magnum. Oh, I was saying that if you don't have NSYNC in your library, then buy this and add it to your library. So it's a quick tip on that. Good for the card. If you get the card, the TDI card, you want NSYNC on it. Really helpful. Gilligard backpack. It's pretty junk. Araldi Holdings junk. Gila holster. Got max armor, got crit chance on it. You could roll crit damage there. Gila's not that useful. I better check the mods just in case, but I'm sure they're crap. Just as we'd expect. Yeah, I mean, I just rather roll Bellstone than Gila guard. But I do have some builds that max out Gila, as you've seen. So they do have a little bit of use. Tactical MK17, crap. Black market RPK, crap. Not hot. No. RNK, I do like RNK brand actually, but this one's not very good. And then Grupo, not very good, and I'm sure these are going to be crap as well. So that's it for today, guys. Yeah, it's not a long list, but hopefully I give you some good build ideas along the way. Got a couple of good buys other than that. But let me make sure I got through all you guys' questions before we close up the stream. Let's see. Ultra Mega Man says, "I feel like a Karen asking this for the 4th time now." Well, I hope you're good looking, Karen, at least. Question: have you ever considered a weapon build with 100% accuracy? Would you ever miss a shot? You would miss a shot. Yeah. I have a build that I created called "You're Wearing Too Much Weapon Damage." I did answer this question earlier. But after, you know what I'll do? After I close up, I will drop a comment. Well, let me see if I actually, you know what? Let me just see if I can find this real quick. It's called "You're Wearing Too Much Armor." And it actually got a lot of views. It was one of the big videos that I dropped. I got a series that's called "You're Wearing Too Much Armor" and "You're Wearing Too Much Weapon Damage." They got mega views, you know, like 80,000, 100,000 views, that kind of stuff. Here it is. Okay, I found it. So you're putting on too much damage, and it goes into accuracy on builds. And this one maxes out accuracy, and I did that using the rail splitter. That comes with a shit ton of accuracy, which is a really good gun. So I'm dropping the link for you here. So check that out, and I'll write "You're putting on too much damage." You guys should all watch that. That's fundamentals. That's fundamentals right there. Even for experienced players appreciated that video. It just opened up a lot of conversations. The concept is, if you're landing more shots, you don't need to put on as much damage onto your build. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Like if you're landing more shots, then you don't need to put on as much damage, right? So, I mean, right now most of you are probably averaging like between 37 and 42%, probably hopefully 42% on your average build. With the capacitor, you're probably up 45%. When you run, if you're running perfect blend, you're probably getting close to 50% accuracy. And that's why perfect blend works so well, right? Because you land so many shots, the enemies die really fast. Because even though you've only increased your handling by 8%, you're landing 8% more shots. Those are amplified damage shots, right? Glass cannon and whatever. So, yeah, the enemy's gonna die faster. But, anyways, there are diminishing returns on handling. That's the point of that video. You need to check it out too. And so, but just so you know, 45 to 60% is, you don't want to be any higher than that, or you'll have a hard time telling the difference. So, oh, I'm glad you love the mask, man. Yeah, it's basically a replica of the mask that my Bandito wears. Today, my Bandito character is wearing a different version. You guys have this version? You guys have this mask here? So I'm wearing this mask. It's pretty cool. Came with in an apparel event. And then the one that I normally wear is this one. And the mask that I'm wearing here in the live stream on my face is a replica of that one. So I crafted it myself. Or maybe the character was made in my image. Ooh. Maybe that's how it went down. So guys, it's a big week. Also, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna drop another link in this feed because there's an important one that you guys need to know about. So, who here is familiar with Game Over? You guys familiar with the Game Over build? You guys know what I'm talking about? So, I put out a build called Game Over. Gosh, it's been a while now, right? At least 6 weeks ago, maybe more. But basically, I took a Foundry. Bulwark Foundry 4-piece, and I hacked it into a skill build, and it just turned out to be godly. Anyways, that build is amazing. The community loved it, and I discovered Game Over 2. And so if you want access to the sneak preview of that build, which it looks like it's going to be on Saturday, I need your guys' help though. I need the likes on that post. All you got to do is like the post, drop a comment in the post, so we can make that happen. So I just dropped a link there if you guys can do me a solid and do that. Also, don't forget to like this video and comment. And again, if you want to join Tux's Players Club, make sure you hit that join button below the video. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Anyways, it's gonna be a big week. Because we just dropped that declassified build for all you division agents out there that aren't club members yet. So I hope you appreciate that one. That was a really good build, recently declassified. And then tomorrow we're gonna probably have a good fun little video. Might do a premiere on it, but that'll be the hot or not list for Cassie Mendoza, and those always turn out to be interesting. And then we have the live stream for members on Thursday, and then on Saturday, and then we have a classified build. Also, I'll be dropping a new classified build for Tux's Players Club members. So you got to be a true Bandito member level or hardcore Bandito member level to get access to those. And then on Saturday, I'll be doing the sneak preview as long as we get the like count that we're looking for on that post. So just head over there and get that bad boy a like. Inquisitor, you joined today? Today was your day? You have been reborn! At Bandito. Welcome, brother. If I had it my way, I would send you guys all a version of this mask. Make you guys all wear it. With a beret. Yeah, she's gonna get clingy again. Stage 5 clinger. She's funny, man. There's always some random shit going on with Cassie, right? There's always random shit. That's why I want to call it like Cassie's crack house, because I feel like they're a bunch of crackheads. They all like kind of dazed out of their mind. There always somebody's always exercising around her too, which is always weird. Somebody's doing jumping jacks and shit. Anyways, that's all I have for today, guys. Hopefully I got through all your questions. And otherwise, I'll hit you up later when the next live stream, next video drop. Until then, banditos.